People who forgave their partner for cheating. How did that turn out? He cried for forgiveness, so I tried. It took time and a lot of therapy, but I forgave him. He kept cheating while slowly checking out of the relationship. He finally dumped me when it wasn't painful for him anymore and kicked me out of our home. 1010 would not forgive again. Gave me a jealousy complex that took years to get over. 010 would not recommend. The problem is that even when you forgive, you don't forget. So the automatic and complete trust is gone. When before you always just assumed what they said was true, you now start to wonder anytime there's room for doubt. Are they really with that friend? Why did they stay out so long last night? How come their way home from work took so long today? It's exhausting and destructive to both parties involved. My mother-in-law forgave my father-in-law about 20 years ago. He's been an anxious, guilty shadow of his former self, riddled with mental health issues, and she's been miserable. He's never cheated since, but they are both the saddest people I know. Never succeeded in forgiving him until after I gave up on the relationship. Not well, nor something I'd ever do again. I caught my husband cheating while I was pregnant. We tried to work things out for the kids, but it wasn't happening. A year or two after we split, my oldest, around 5 at the time, wanted us to get back together. So we made us sit in tiny kids' chairs, and his understanding of the divorce was daddy lied, and lying is bad made his dad apologize. I accepted the apology during this adorable mini therapy session, but explained that I will never have enough trust to be a family with him again. I think it was helpful closure for everyone and got us into a better position to co-parent effectively. FYI, my son is 10 now and is well adjusted and loved. I tried very hard. I thought I'd forgiven her with complete sincerity. But those thoughts never seem to leave your head no matter how much you tell yourself that you can move on. Personally, for their benefit, I think it's better just to end things and start fresh, no matter how long it's been. You're never going to treat them the same, as you'll never have the same amount of trust you had before. They will be miserable, which will just lead to a recurrence or even worse. Afterwards, I was convinced that I trusted him as much as ever and we were stronger than ever. A few years after all that, he went away on a trip for a couple of weeks. When he returned, I was just numb. I had completely disconnected from the relationship and broke up with him. This came out of the blue and totally broke his heart. Turns out I had a delayed reaction to the original breach of trust. I've discovered since that this is very common. My girlfriend's dad forgave her mom for cheating, but he didn't really. He stopped working permanently, so she would have to pay the mortgage, and there was always this passive-aggressive sniping between the two. She said she couldn't forgive me for forgiving her and left. I grew to hate him. Like he never, as far as I know, did it again. But I randomly look at him and just feel this overwhelming sense of anger and disgust. It wasn't fair to either of us. I think I stayed because I wanted to win and didn't want to feel like I wasted so much time in my life on that relationship, but it never went back to me feeling the way I felt before I knew. Bad. I was so naive back then. He used me for money and sex for over a year, and when he got his first paycheck, he ghosted me. I came home and he has taken all his stuff and left. He came back a year later, in tears, crying over how I was the only one who understood him and who genuinely cared for him. I forgave him embarrassingly fast. He cheated again a while after. I left and never spoke to him again. Lesson finally learned. Wouldn't recommend. Divorce. You might forgive, but it sends the message they can do it again. My ex cheated 3 times that I know of. Caught her once. Once she got caught, she decided to ditch me and marry her affair partner. Destroyed her best friend's life. It was her best friend's husband she was having the affair with. Destroyed my family also. Fuck cheaters, man. They are as bad as cancer. They cause multi-generational issues for a few seconds of fun. I always overthink. I hate being one of those not me, but comments usually, but I will this time just to provide some opposite views here. A family friend's wife cheated on him and they've now been together for, I think, at least a decade post-cheating. By all accounts very happy. They are involved with facilitating groups and marriage classes at church and are very open and honest about their relationship history, etc. People can make it work. It doesn't mean that anyone should feel that they have to, be guilted into staying, etc., but it is possible. Cheated on me again. Told me after good sex for both of us. Then when I wanted a separation, because of our kids, she cheated multiple times while I lived elsewhere. Then I had to move with work. She wanted to come with me with more promises and tears. So I thought to myself, a change of location will take her away from doing this, so okay. Luckily for her, she became quite popular and easily gained new friends to cheat with. So I moved out and got the divorce underway, and she made sure to screw people who I worked with. Divorce finalized and never felt bad when her life went to shit. Kids moved in with me, so that wasn't a problem for anyone. I must still care about her, because I am glad she is now dead, and if I didn't care, I wouldn't care either way. It wasn't physical, but an emotional affair. We technically broke up for a while. We had a very tough year, but the important thing was that he realized what he had done, and that just because he never physically met his AP, it didn't mean he wasn't cheating. We both got therapy individually and worked on our communication issues together. I made the choice to trust him again, and so far as I know he hasn't broken that trust. I don't check. He knows now if we have a problem he should tell me first, not some ex-girlfriend up in his DMs. That was all 8 or 9 years ago. We live together and have a very solid relationship. I think we are outliers though. Sometimes, it's a kick in the butt to sort out the primary relationship, but mostly cheaters suck and don't deserve to be in a relationship. It turned out great until they cheated again. But hey, third time's the charm, right? Just kidding. Don't cheat, folks.